We are staring at a forest. The reason we're staring at a forest is because we're testing the FPS, because today we've fixed the FPS. So if you guys have seen, so we're running right now about 70, down to 50 a bit, 60, but 70, pretty close to 80 FPS, stuff like that. If you guys have seen the previous, or two videos ago actually, we were testing the FPS on the new computer, which is a fairly, as far as new gaming computers go, it's one of the slower ones. And we were testing the FPS on it, and it was not getting too good. Right now, it's a lot better. We're going to be going over a bit about how FPS works, at least what I know about it. And we're also going to be installing a new mod that will improve FPS. And the mod is not optifying. Well, optifine, not fying. That's not the right pronunciation. But anyways, we'll get to all of why we're doing that and stuff in a minute. But first, we'll look at what the FPS is currently doing, and also what has happened in between episodes in regards to improving FPS. So, what we actually have right now is we've got 50 FPS, but we have pretty much everything on maximum settings, except for render distance. Render distance is on halfway. But everything else, and let's go ahead and change it while we're at it. So let's put it on minimum to see what the difference is. So graphics was on fancy, smooth lighting was on maximum, clouds were on, map is on, we'll leave that on. Anisotropic filtering was on completely on 16, and particles were on completely, and that's that. So now we just turned all of that stuff off. Let's see what difference it makes. We were running around 50, 60, 70, 80. And now we are reloading everything. We are reloading everything, and you can see it looks a lot more cartoonish, a lot less smooth lighting. So that is true. But whoops, my iPod's sliding down. Okay, anyways, back to the point. So we are currently getting with minimum settings mostly. We are getting 70-ish FPS. Actually, let's set it to about the same as we had on the old computer. I think it was 6 chunks that we had. And we definitely had an isotropic off. I don't remember, did we have smooth lighting on partially? Not entirely sure. And particles were probably on minimal. Something like that. Anyways, let's see. We currently have a reasonable 80, actually a very good 80. 80 is very good. So let's go ahead and wander around a little bit. It should drop down a little bit. If you're curious, it's in the top left of the screen, right next to where it says Minecraft 1.7.10. Anyways, so that is that. So the FPS is, according to, I think this was the old settings we had on the old computer, it is going a lot better because it is hitting 60. It's hitting above 60 usually. Let's go ahead and try turning VSync on because we used to have that on all the time. All that does is, or supposedly all that does, is limit the frame rate to the display, and it's limiting it down to 40 for some reason, 45. Not sure why that is. Let's turn that off. Anyways, so what has happened in between episodes is a good question. Let's go ahead and discuss that. So first of all, let's go ahead and reset this back onto maximum settings, except for chunks being on 8. So in between the last time we tested this, so it wasn't technically last episode. Well, it was in between last episode and this one, but the point is that 2 episodes ago was the episode where we were testing the graphics settings, and now we just have to wait for it to reload with all of those setting changes. There we go. Also, so I've changed the memory. Minecraft memory can now only use 1.5 gigabytes instead of 2, which is okay. And the reason for that is just because the system computer memory on this computer is limited right now. And if you guys are trying to adjust your FPS and you find that, you know what, let's go head back to the base and see what's happening over there. Yeah, so if you guys are running into troubles where suddenly your FPS goes and drops down to like 15 or 20 or 10 or something like that, it's possible that you've maxed out your system memory and it's starting to use the disk, which makes it go a lot slower. So yeah, anyways, so limiting it from 2000 to 1500 megabytes of memory. You can see that in the top right of the screen, by the way. But that only fixes the big drop down. That's like, it's not like a sudden FPS drop. It's like it's like it just drops down and stays down, which that fixes that. But that wasn't the problem, the main problem that we were having, because the main problem that we were having is, and you can actually sort of see it right now, a little bit, is it's gone down to 30 FPS. Partly that is because we're next to the base, and the base has a lot of machines going on inside and stuff like that, which tend to drop the frame rate somewhat. But in any case, let's see. So let's go ahead and, you know what? While we are chatting, let's go ahead and shear the sheep. Shear the sheep after emptying the inventory. So what we are going to do today is install a new mod. But first, what was happening in between episodes? So let's go ahead and put this down here, not there. Let's put it down here. Okay, let's put down the wool. Let's put down the extra of these things. And so, in between episodes, I reinstalled the graphics card drivers because it looked like something might have been messed up with that. We might need the cold no, let's put that in there, because if we die and we lose everything, that wouldn't be good. Anyways, reinstalled the graphics card drivers, and for those of you guys who don't know, graphics card drivers are basically the things that the software that runs your actual graphics card. We don't need to put the dirt in there. Why are we putting the dirt in there? Let's go ahead and put the dirt in here. There we go. So yes, the graphics card drivers are it's the software that actually runs the graphics card, which means it takes the hardware of your computer and like it translates it for programs to handle and stuff like that. Whoops, we were gonna go shear the sheep. So, and keep in mind right now, if you're watching the FPS meter, keep in mind we have everything on maximum except for render distance is on 8 chunks. And the window is a 720p window right now, which is the way it always has been. So yes, so it looked like when I installed the graphics card drivers in the first place, something messed up. I think something installed 2 different versions or something, and not sure. It looked like it was messed up a bit. So reinstalled that, deleted the regular graphics card drivers, and reinstalled it, and then we're good to go. And it seems to have improved things a lot. Also, in between episodes, if you guys saw the live stream that sort of didn't really work very well, was because I had just been messing with the graphics card settings a couple days earlier, and it looked like I improved it, but apparently not. So apparently it was not improved, it was messed up. So reinstalling the drivers reset all the settings, which was excellent. But with that being done, it seems to have improved things to a large degree. And also, if you're using on your PC, if you happen to be using an AMD graphics card, or in my case, an AMD integrated graphics card, which is just a graphics card that is on the same chip as the central processor CPU thing. If you're using the AMD settings, what was it called? If you you go to your Radeon settings and right click on it and change your graphics profile to optimize performance. That's what I did as well, and it seems to have improved things from last episode. And I don't recall what frame rate we were doing last episode, but it seems to be better. It seems to be a lot more responsive and at least equivalent to what it used to be on the old computer. Now, what else? We're nearly done this section of the video. Let's see. So that's about it. Yeah, so the Minecraft settings are currently on maximum settings. Now, what we are going to be doing today, let's go ahead and head back over to the FPS testing zone. And the reason that it is an FPS testing zone is because it is out of range of the base, and it has a wide variety of things on the screen to be seen. So, it's out of range of the base. So, and by the way, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar or are new to the series or something, we're on Minecraft 1.7.10. We have a lightly modded mod pack. We have just very few mods. The list of all the mods is in the description. And that is that. So let's get back over here. The reason we're heading over to a place like this, and I'm just going to do a time set again. Normally, we don't cheat in this series, but just for the sake of testing things, rather than having to go all the way back to the base and then all the way back out here, that wouldn't be very, very ideal. So, the reason we're coming to a place like this to test FPS, first of all, it's out of range of the base, so no machines are, I mean, they're still running, but they're not really being rendered the same. And we have a lot of trees there, so you can sort of see that tree over there. And now it's raining. And now it's raining. And now our FPS is actually staying around 50 or 60 while it's raining, which is good. That's really good, because rain has a tendency to lower frame rate. And let's go ahead and turn that off. Toggle downfall. There we go. So, you can see on that tree over there, and on the all of the trees, you can sort of see through the leaves. That is the fancy graphics settings. Basically, what fancy graphics does is, if you turn it off, then you can see that the trees are solid. If you look on the edges of the trees, they're solid instead of transparent, which means that the game doesn't have to render what's behind the tree and the tree. It only has to render the tree. So, let's go ahead and turn that back on. Smooth lighting changes the shading of things and stuff like that. That's the main setting that makes it look all cartoon-like. So you can see it looks all the same brightness everywhere, no shadows, things like that. So that can speed up a graphics card, although in our case, none of these settings really seem to make a difference. So, not sure why that is, but anyways. 3D anaglyph, we're not going to do that. That just has to do with 3D stuff. Clouds, like 3D red and blue 3D glasses. Stop getting tongue-tied. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed. Clouds are an extra thing that needs to be rendered that takes some... Actually, if we look straight up into the sky, what does our FPS do? Goes up to 90, goes up to 100, and 108, 109, past 110. Okay, so yeah, the FPS, oh wow, past 120. Okay, and back down to 100. Okay, so around the 100 range is good for the sky. But in any case, if we turn clouds off, then it doesn't have to render the clouds. So in theory, it'll run faster, although it doesn't appear... Oh, actually, 140. Nice. It's in the 140s. That's good. Anyways, we're going to get to install... Sorry, getting tongue-tied again. We are going to get to installing that new mod in a minute. So, MIP map levels have to do with... I think they have to do with the fuzziness of things. Like, if you see those trees up there, as we're moving around, they kind of go all, like, fuzzy and things like that. Pixelated. I think that's what MIP map does. If we turn MIP map off, once it recalculates the scene, there we go. Now it should look worse. So you can see even on the dirt over there, as we're moving around, you can see the dirt looks a little bit fuzzy as well. I'm not sure how well that comes through in the recording, because the recording kind of adds a little bit of fuzziness itself. Anyways, render distance is a big changer to the FPS. If we bring it down to 2, then you should see, once it recalculates the scene, there we go. It now, with everything else on maximum, we are hitting 130, 120, 130, 134, 136, stuff like that. It's getting, recalculating. Okay, it's getting some really, really high frame rates consistently above 100, but of course we can't really see very far. And if we set it on 16, then we can see very, very far indeed once it calculates, because it's not calculating over there. But it has also dropped the frame rate down to 30, down to 40-ish, 30-ish, something like that. Anyways, it's going to take so long to load that in, let's forget about that. So, put it on 8. Now, what's left? We're basically doing a explanation of the settings here. So, view bobbing, all that is does your character bob as you're moving? So you can see you can hopefully see we're kind of bobbing up and down a little bit. If we were to turn off view bobbing, then we just sort of slide along, which is very good for cinematic camera type of things, but I don't know if it actually makes much difference to the frame rate. Anyways, max frame rate, we want that unlimited. Brightness is on bright. Actually, I think it's past bright because of editing the options file. Particles, all minimum, decreased, that sort of is self-explanatory. Use VSync is basically about limiting the frame rate to what your monitor can do. That is the situation. And the last one, anisotropic filtering, has to do with, I don't know how noticeable it is on Minecraft, but it has to do with the textures as you get farther away. Let's get to somewhere where you can actually see this, hopefully, maybe. Let's see if we can. Let's go ahead and break this grass so that we can hopefully see it. Let's see, the textures. What it does, oh, you can sort. So the far away textures, like the grass, you can see it's got like quite a texture, but as it gets farther away, like those ones over there, it starts to get fuzzy. Hopefully that comes through the recording fairly well. If we turn anisotropic filtering on, then it should, once it recalculates, there we go. It does look less fuzzy, at least in the game. Hopefully it translates into the recording, but anyways, it does look less fuzzy, and it basically has to do with the game rendering detail farther away, like textures and things, and so that is very helpful, but it can slow the game down, although in our case it doesn't really seem to be making much difference. So the frame rate seems to be the only, not the render distance appears to be the only thing that really makes much difference. The other things make some, but not too much. Anyways. All right, let's go ahead and install the new mod and then check out the thing and discuss it and stuff. New mod installed, and now we're hitting 70 FPS while raining. Let's go ahead and turn off the rain. Toggle down / toggle. Why won't it? The tab thing won't complete. Okay, toggle down fall. You don't know. Oh, that's the problem. We need to actually open it to LAN and turn on the commands. There we go. Alrighty, so now let's see. Let's also time set. By the way, if you guys are trying to install this particular mod, which is called BetterFPS, if you're trying to install this particular mod and on 1.7.10 and you're like, what's happening? Where is it? Because if we go back to the mods list, this version does not show up in the Forge mods list. It is a known bug with this version. This is version 1.0.1, I think. But anyways, basically, if it looks like the mod doesn't show up, it is actually there. You have to go and it's supposedly there's supposed to be a settings button. There is in the newer versions a settings button in options, but I couldn't find one. But if you just go over here, press F12, then there you go. Then you have BetterFPS options. Now, this early version of it doesn't have all the settings that I was hoping, but the 1.13 version for Hypixel and stuff has settings like turn off fog and things like that. But even just this, changing the algorithm, so you can change the algorithm to a bunch of different things. So, like here, vanilla algorithm, and that would be what Minecraft is normally running on, and you have to restart the game every time you want to change this, so it sort of makes it difficult. But vanilla algorithm, if we go and change it on my system, it seems that Riven's full algorithm is the best one to use. And by the way, when you download this mod, if you open the jar file, which is the mod file, then there's a button to test your what algorithm is best for your system. So now that is that. So how is this thing performing? It appears to be going really nicely. If we stand still, we are hitting 70s, 80s, 90s while staring at trees. That is very, very good indeed. And we're getting 70s, 80s, and if we move around a bunch, then we are consistently staying above 60 instead of dropping down to the 40s and the 50s, which is well, 59 for a second, 58. Okay, I spoke too soon, but we're not dropping into the 40s for sure, which is excellent. And we are still, by the way, for those of you guys who are curious, and after we're done this, I have a big question for you guys. So anyways, video settings. We are currently on maximum everything except for render distance. That's the only thing we're not maximum on. Let's go ahead and maximize that and see if BetterFPS actually loads the chunks any faster. I don't know if it has control over chunk loading or not. But it does appear to be dropping down to the 40s and the 30s and stuff, which is not really desirable. However, let's go ahead and turn that down, and then we should be good to go. Let's turn it down to 12. Anyways, if you're using BetterFPS, by the way, BetterFPS, which is this mod, BetterFPS, it works in vanilla as well. And yeah, so if you want to use it on Hypixel and stuff like that, sounds like that is okay to do. I'm gonna start doing that. But yeah, it has more settings in the newer versions. This one only has the basic setting to change the algorithm, but it does appear to be working very successfully, and so that is good. So let's go ahead and start sewing. There we go, because so anyways. Okay, let's go ahead and head back to the base. And one question for you guys, in the process of trying to install this, because it looked like it didn't work, and so then I was retrying everything and researching and things like that. It took a long time, but in the process, I was looking at the mod versions for the mods that we have. We have a whole bunch of different mods in here. Here's just the mods that actually have items that are added to the game. But here's a question about changing versions. What do you guys think about the matter? So here's the situation. Actually, before we leave there, where were we? Okay, we just spun in a circle, but was it a full circle or a half circle? And I think the base is over that way, so let's go ahead and head over this way. Yeah, so first of all, we are on Minecraft 1.7.10, right? So that is where we are currently on. Now, to upgrade to a newer version of Minecraft, which would it would have more better FPS options and stuff like that. It would also have all the new Minecraft features, including slime blocks and all kinds of things, which are really nice. But here's the dilemma. In case you're wondering, why in the world are you still on 1.7.10? Okay, it's dropping down to the 40s a little bit, but it is loading a lot of chunks right now, so that sort of makes sense. Actually, let's go ahead and we need to open this this thing over here so that we can see it properly. Anyways, let's go ahead and try turning these settings all the way down. Let's set this back on 8 for comparison. And set these down, all except for MIP map. Let's leave MIP map on because we did that before. We left it on before. All right, let's go ahead and let it reload. So yeah, for changing versions, I was looking into the mod versions and stuff. Here's the problem. The reason that we're on 1.7.10 is because of two mods in particular. Okay, so we're getting in the 70s. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, it appears that changing these settings don't really change much on this computer for some reason. And for those of you guys who are wondering, I did mention in a previous video, but this is a Vega 11 integrated graphics card, and it's running very, very nicely. Oh, you know what would help a lot? Actually turn clouds off, so I'll try that. But the mod versions, we're stuck on 1.7.10 because, well, we're not really stuck. It's a fun version. It's a very good version. But ComputerCraft is one, but things are changing, it appears, and then the possibly changing, I'm not sure. And then the other one appears to be just sort of clicking through. Minecam is another big one. So, but here's the situation. We may be able to, okay, let's go ahead and look at this, guys. See how much FPS difference turning off clouds makes. So we're getting about 110, about 95, 120, okay, 130. Let's go ahead and turn off clouds. And here we go. Clouds are now off. We're hitting 140, 150, 150 FPS. Oh, and also we may see a sudden drop because the memory on the system is just about maxed right now. So as soon as it actually hits the maximum point, then it will suddenly drop in frame rate. But for now, we're hitting 150, which is excellent. So you know what? We could even leave the clouds off. I think, though, let's go ahead and turn clouds on for now because it looks nice. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and head back home and check out the situation at the base. So basically, all right. And in case you're wondering what the GPU is running at now, earlier in the video, before installing the new mod, BetterFPS, it was running around 50%, maybe 60% usage on the GPU. And now it's running about the same. It did hit 70 for a bit, which is good. Actually, let's go ahead and set this down to 3, just for the sake of testing. Just for the sake of testing. So, yes, back to the version thing. So, we are using a collection of several mods. Mostly, it looks like, how many mods? 23 mods? That's not it. Let's go ahead and check on the mods. Okay, we have Applied Energistics, Code Chicken Core, which is just a support mod, Galacticraft, McDoodle thing, Not Enough Items, Applied Energistics, Build Craft, Computer Craft, Ender Storage, Ex Nihilo, Galactic Craft, and Night Peripherals, and Minecam and Railcraft. Now, let's get back into the world and go back to the base. So, here's the situation. We may be able to upgrade the version sooner than we had previously anticipated. Also, let's turn off that debug pie because it slows things down a bit. So, here we go. We've got 80, we've got 120. All right, let's go ahead and set this back up to, let's go on 10. Why not? That's higher than 8. Why not might be loading lag while loading the chunks. So let's go ahead and change that again. Anyways, stop getting distracted and get back to the point. So we've got, out of the list of all the mods, we've got Galacticraft and Applied Energistics have been updated to Minecraft 1.12.2. Now, here's the problem. ComputerCraft and, well, let's just deal with that one for now. ComputerCraft has been updated, except it's been updated to 1.8.9 and hasn't yet come any farther. Sort of. More details on that later. But, so it's been updated to 1.8.9, whereas the other mods have skipped 1.8.9, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, and so we can't use that version. So we'll have to go to a version that they all support. So long story short, and by the way, if you guys want to check any of this stuff out, there's links in the description, and let's go ahead and shear some sheep once again. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Okay, so we've got Galacticraft and Applied Energistics, Applied Energistics 2 to be exact, have both been updated to Minecraft 1.12.2. Now, Chicken Bones mods, which includes, do we have Ender storage in this one? Or which one did we have in here? I don't remember. Ender storage, yes we do. We should actually start using that at some point. That might be helpful for... oh, I forgot we had that mod, actually. That might be helpful for taking things to the moon, taking items to the moon. Anyways, it's a thought. But in any case, we have sheared the sheep. Now let's go ahead and head upstairs. And, you know... I think, while we're talking, let's start building in some of that floor to set up some farms and things like wheat farms and tree farms and stuff. So let's start building in the floor. Let's go ahead and get some materials. So anyways, yeah, so 1.12.2 looks like the one that we're going to have to do once we do it, because it seems to be the one that most mods are compatible with. Galacticraft, as I said, applied Energistics 2 and Chicken Bones mods, including Ender Storage and I guess not enough items. I didn't really look into details on those mods, but those are upgraded to 1.12.2, it looks like. Railcraft is another one that we are using because outside of the base over here, and this is really nice, we can see through the trees now because we have extra GPU power, and it's actually being used more effectively. It's still running around 50%, 60% usage on the GPU. Here's something interesting as well. The GPU usage seems to measure how many frames per second are going. So I don't know why sometimes the FPS slows down, but it seems like when we change settings like bringing render distance way down and stuff like that, and the FPS starts hitting 90s, 100, 120, stuff like that, the GPU usage climbs up, which is really weird. I tried, for those of you guys who are curious about the GPU usage thing, I tried another game, Euro Truck Simulator 2. And by the way, if you guys want to see some videos on that, then let me know, because it will probably work on this new computer. Anyways, this is Railcraft here. But, yeah, I tried Euro Truck Simulator 2 and turned off VSync, and it just went and maxed out the GPU and kept generating frames and stuff like that, and it was doing nicely. Not sure why Minecraft is limiting itself. It's weird. Anyways, back to the point. So, Railcraft is for 1.12.2, but it is in beta. I don't know if you guys have used Railcraft much. What can we... oh, yes, I was getting dirt. I don't know if you get... oh, and cobblestone. We have some cobblestone, we need to get some dirt. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have used Railcraft at all in the beta version. Maybe it is more stable. For those of you guys who are wondering what beta means, beta and alpha versions and stuff like that, basically it means when a developer starts developing a mod or developing a software of some sort, the developer basically goes and he starts doing it, and he calls it an alpha version because it's very unstable and probably going to crash a lot and maybe break the world and stuff like that, possibly. And then when he's tested it a bunch and he knows after testing and stuff that it is stable, then he goes ahead and calls it a beta version, and then a whole bunch of people test it and stuff like that. And through a whole lot more testing, then it's like, oh yeah, it looks pretty stable. So then they release it as a official release version. Now, here's the thing. Is the Railcraft beta version stable or not? Because, I mean, if it's called stable, that means it's been verified to be stable. But it could be stable even without that. Oh, and there's obsidian down there. If you can see this, it's kind of dark. Anyways, yeah, but the reason I'm wondering is because if we look over at ComputerCraft is sort of updated. There is an alpha version for 1.12.2. But here's the thing. So you would think, oh, alpha version, it's going to crash a lot and it's not going to be stable and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I think that, except that it's had over 2 million downloads on the alpha version, so that wouldn't be all people just wanting to test it and stuff, so it must work to some degree. I don't know if any of you guys have experience with that, so perhaps ComputerCraft is safe to use in 1.12. So let me know about that. That's kind of the big one. The other big mod that we use in this series, very critical to the series, is the mod Minechem. Now, Minechem is an interesting situation because it is currently, as far as I can find online, it is for 1.7.10, which is this version, and hasn't yet been updated to 1.12, except that I went on the Minechem Discord, and the Minechem Discord is talking about developing and stuff like that, and sounds like it's coming along. Just like very, very recently, they were doing posts about things that they were figuring out to get it working, stuff like that. Like just, I think it was over the weekend, the last weekend or something like that. So anyways, oh, not stone. Don't want stone. Okay, so cobblestone. Let's go ahead and do this. So yeah, so it looks like Minechem is coming along. But here's the other thing. Minechem sounds like it's in active development, whereas Computercraft, as far as I can see, the last version was put out in the alpha version was put out in 2017 September. So maybe Computercraft is stable, but just hasn't been declared a official release yet. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all those things. If you think that once Minechem is ready, we can just go ahead and upgrade just like that, or try to upgrade. Hopefully the world will actually port over to the newer version, because there's a lot of changes. Also on the list is Buildcraft. Is very important because that's our quarry, although we could do without most of Buildcraft's things if we go ahead and use Computercraft as a quarry instead of Buildcraft. That's possible, but Buildcraft is in alpha as well. So, and they say on the, I'm just reading the download page right now, they say do not expect it to work with existing 1.7.10 worlds. So it may or may not work, most likely will not work. I don't know. But we could do without Buildcraft for the sake of upgrading, possibly, unless you guys remember something else that we've done that I forgot. We have used quarries, we have Buildcraft tanks over there, which we will need to replace with a different kind of tank. For like oil and things, and also for creosote oil outside of the base. So what else do we need from Buildcraft? I think that's all we use Buildcraft for. So, and in case you're wondering, by the way, why I'm putting cobblestone down, it's just so that if we accidentally break through the dirt, we won't be falling down completely. The plan for this place is to expand the sheep farm. So split them into colors and put in all the 16 colors along the side of the wall here, and then put the tree farms over there. That's the plan for this. Anyways, so Computercraft and Minechem are the big ones. So do you guys think that it's safe to upgrade Computercraft as soon as Minechem is ready? Possibly. Not sure, because it has had over 2 million downloads. What else do we have? Night peripherals, which we have. That has not yet been upgraded, but that would probably be because it is dependent on Computercraft, and Computercraft is not yet updated, so it's possible. Not sure what to do about that one. But also Ex Nihilo. We have Ex Nihilo. Whoops, wrong button. And Ex Nihilo. There we go. Although, have we even used this yet? It's something that would be nice to use in the future, but I think, let's go check around the base just to see if we've used it yet. But I think that because we've been using Minechem for most things, I think we have not yet used Ex Nihilo. For those of you guys who don't know what Ex Nihilo is, it's basically a mod where you turn things into other things, and you can do a full skyblock experience starting from almost nothing, and turning items into different items, and turning them into greater items and stuff. We might have used it for some crafting recipes, possibly, I don't know. Let's go ahead and see up here anything. Let's keep checking through the base. But Ex Nihilo, there are two versions actually. There's Ex Nihilo 2 and Ex Nihilo 1. Ex Nihilo 1 was it this mod or a different one? Let me just check through. Really nice having a new fast computer. Okay, so I can't see any notes on it being updated. They say to stay tuned for versions beyond 1.9.4, but the current version is 1.7.10, which is what we have right now. Ex Nihilo 2 is 1.8.9 is what it is set for. Let's go ahead and actually, no point in restarting the engines right now. Any Ex Nihilo things around here? I don't think we have any. That's Railcraft. And let's see, over here, these are Galacticraft, those things, and this is... Oh. Okay, so Buildcraft, you know what? Buildcraft is an alpha version. If we were to remove Buildcraft, we'd have to redo our pipes, which is okay. I mean, we have aluminum wire, right? We have aluminum wire from Galacticraft, so that's not too bad. We'd have to redo all our pipes. Yeah, so that's some things. Let's go ahead and check outside as well, because that's where we have the rest of our... Wow! Rain is really affecting the frame rate. Okay, let's go ahead and turn particles to decreased. See what that does. Oh! That seems to have jumped up a lot. Jumped up from the 30s into the 40s, which is good. Oh, and then we move, and then it goes back into the 30s. Let's go ahead and turn particles to minimal. Does that actually affect the rain? It turned off the rain sound. Why did it turn off the rain sound? But it appears that it's maybe sped up a little bit. Okay, that's weird. Turning off particles turns off the rain sound. That's weird. Anyways, any Ex Nihilo things out here. Don't see any. I think we'd be good to remove Ex Nihilo if we have to. It would be... I don't know, I'd like to keep it as well. Here's another thought for you guys. I'll have to look into the feasibility of doing this and double check the mod permissions and things like that. But are you guys interested in a public mod pack for a thinking pack for this current version? Let me know what you guys think about that. Then you could download the mod pack and either play alongside or just have fun with it yourself or something like that. I don't know how to do that necessarily, so... But let me know if it's something worth looking into. And it would probably take a long time after deciding to do that before it's ready. Probably a couple of months at least, just because of tight schedule and things. But... yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in that. So, yeah, so that's, those are some thoughts for you guys upgrading to different versions. Upgrading to 1.12.2. So, in summary, in quick summary, the mods, Galacticraft is good to go. Applied Energistics is good to go. Chicken Bones mods like NEI and Ender storage and stuff like that are good to go as well. And then we have, oh, you know what? The frame rate drops could be from limited memory. I think we're, I'm using 5.5 out of 5.9, so it's pretty tight right now. Anyways, yeah, so those mods are good to go. So the only issues we could potentially have, ComputerCraft is a big one, which may be okay considering the alpha has had 2 million downloads. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys are using the 1.12 version of ComputerCraft. And let me know what you guys, if it's stable. Also, Railcraft, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, Railcraft is in beta, so it may or may not be stable. And Buildcraft is in alpha, which is a big deal, but we could always take out Buildcraft and add it in later. Minecam is the other big one. So, yeah, basically in summary, it's about, do you guys think that once Minecam is ready to go, that we could just go ahead and upgrade to 1.12 just like that? Or, I don't know. Let me know, sorry, getting tongue-tied again. Let me know what you guys think about the matter. But for now, it seems that we are having a lot of success. Also, one of the reasons for upgrading, one of the reasons I want to upgrade is related to frame rate, because especially with the it seems that the newer thing with removing fog in the BetterFPS thing, it seems like when you remove fog, it goes ahead and improves the frame rate dramatically. And so yeah, so that's one of the reasons. But also there's a lot of new features. Also the 1.12 version seems to load a lot faster than this version, because I think that was when they did a bunch of chunk loading changes and things like that. So those are some reasons. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the matter, and that is that. So let's go ahead, and I think we're just about done here. Let me just double check things. What was just looking around at notes and things. Okay, whoops, wrong button. We're just typing a bunch of buttons, trying to move. Well, the keyboard is in the text chat mode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and stuff like that. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are curious why I'm installing BetterFPS instead of Optifine, that is a good question. The reason for that, there are a couple reasons for that. You know what? Let's not shift. Let's just go backwards and see what happens. Okay. So yeah, one of the main reasons for that is it's just a little confusing, the terms and things on the Minecraft forums. Like, I couldn't find any Optifine like license agreements or anything like that anywhere, except I didn't look in the mod download recently. That's the thing. But on the Minecraft forums, it's really confusing because it says things about not using Optifine for any public displays, and I'm like, what's a public display? Is that talking about, like, publicly available YouTube videos where it's being displayed? But that couldn't be, because pretty much every YouTuber uses Optifine. So I'm really confused what that means. So that's why that's the main reason why I'm not using Optifine, using BetterFPS instead. So, and I don't remember, but I think I tried several months ago emailing the Optifine guy about it, and he didn't respond. So, but I mean, he probably gets thousands of emails, so I'm not really surprised he didn't respond. But yeah, so that's the main reason I'm not using Optifine. But also, on the bright side, it kind of fits the just checking in there just for fun. Kind of fits the thinking pack way of doing things, where you sort of find a different way of doing things than usual. So Optifine is the standard way to do things, and so we're replacing it with a different mod. So that's the thing. Anyways, if you want to see the BetterFPS mod, there will be a link in the description. As I said, the 1.13 version and the other like newer versions and things like that have a whole lot more features, which are very, very nice indeed. We need some cobblestone. Oh, why did I go all the way up here? We have cobblestone from an infinite generator in the basement. Let's go ahead and get that. Anyways, so, oh, what was the frame rate didn't appear to lag much going down there. We are getting some lag down here, probably because of all that fire going on. Let's go ahead and reduce particles and see. Oh, actually, the frame rate's jumping up to 80, 60, 70. It appears to be moving while particles are going is what is slowing it down. Why are we going up? We need to go to the we need to go to this place over here. Get infinite cobblestone. There we go, and there we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's the main reason for not using Optifine. So, in any case, if you want to see a link to the... Oh, yes, and I was also saying, I've tried BetterFPS in the 1.13, or was it 1.12? Not sure. But those recent ones. Does this need to be restarted? Why is it not doing anything? Hello? Oh, is it on like a 60-second delay or something? Let's see if this thing actually starts going, because it should have started going by now. Is this one going to start going? Okay, so this one is going. Why is that one not going? That's weird. That is very weird. Okay, we'll have to troubleshoot that later, I guess. Not sure why that turtle's not going, but this one is. So that is very interesting indeed. Oh, and it's... Oh, it is actually dumping it into the chest. That's good. But this one is not running. Oh, maybe it's out of fuel. That is quite possible. Okay, we'll have to deal with that later. But in any case, yeah, if you want to see better FPS, it will be in a link in the description. And the newer version works in vanilla and appears to be allowed on Hypixel and things like that, because it's a FPS improvement mod, and it seems to make a very big difference in the newer versions, as far as I tested at least. This room is still laggy, which is weird. So, but in any case, yeah, it appears to make a very big difference on the newer versions and stuff like that because of all the extra settings. This one just has basic. And by the way, you can click through these and get to a bunch of different algorithms. And the download comes with a test to see which algorithm might work best. And I'd recommend running the test multiple times to see which setting works best. But that is that. So that is that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and stuff like that. We now have a new mod in the series, and let me know what you guys think about the whole upgrading thing and stuff like that. In the future, we are going to work on, like in the following episodes, we are going to work on trying to get to space, get back to our plan to get to space, and actually finish fueling this rocket. That would be important. And that is that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and stuff like that, and see you guys later. Bye-bye!